We have here verse 12 of the 12th chapter, Gospel of John. We have what amounts to a new paragraph now as John is continuing to proceed through the narrative that regards Holy Week as he tells the account. Of course, he leaves out a fair amount that you find in the synoptics and vice versa, but this does fill in some blanks, so we begin with te aparion. Aparion, this is actually an idiomatic expression. It means the next day, or with reference to the next day. This is really an indeclinable adverb. That's the way it functions. So the next day, presumably the day that follows the day in which we have the anointing of Jesus, the moment in which, of course, Mary is the one who comes and pours out this precious ointment, and he deals with the objection raised by Judas and all of that. So we continue now the next day. Ho oklos. This is the nominative singular, masculine noun, crowd, and so the crowd, polus. This is from the word that means much or many, depending on whether it's singular or plural. Here, of course, it's a singular, and so it's going to be a large crowd, a great crowd, and so on. So the large crowd, and then a participle, so the large crowd, the, having come, eilphone, aorist participle from erchomai, I come. This is the masculine, singular, nominative aorist. So it's the crowd, the having come, already there in Jerusalem. Ace, preposition, takes the accusative. Tain, heortain, to the feast, or literally into the feast. So the crowd, the great crowd, having come to the feast. And then akusantes, this is again another aorist participle indicating action preceding the time of the leading verb. So this is the nominative plural, aorist active participle, masculine, plural, nominative. So having come, it's referring to the crowd here. So the although it's put in the plural at this point, although the word crowd is itself singular, but John makes that little adjustment. So the crowd, the great crowd, having come to the feast and having heard, hoti, the conjunction can mean that or because. In this case, that. Context determines having heard that. Erketai. From erchomai, I come. This is the third person singular, present active indicative. So having heard he comes, the present, ho Jesus, having heard Jesus comes, ace Jerusalema, into Jerusalem. So it's a mid-sentence, of course. The sentence isn't finished yet, but it's preliminary. So the crowd has come into the feast. They've heard that Jesus is also there, is in their minds. And so now we're going to hear, as we come to the next verse, what exactly takes place as a result of this observation.